Welcome, everyone, to the Garage After Dark. We are going to review All Out. Without further ado, let's rock and roll.
We're clear for takeoff.
That's all systems go. We need that AEW logo up. Stat.
You're watching the AEW Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this September 8th, 2024 edition of The Garage. This is a special edition covering All Out 2024, which just ended about 5 minutes ago. The effing expert, Mr. Isaacs here. I am struggling to stay awake, gentlemen. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada effing dry, and I'd like to give a shout out to my good friend, Bad Take Kate.
And we've got our triangular buddy down below. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
I am the one, the only EVP Joe. Just coming on a high, natural high, after All Out. Phenomenal pay-per-view.
Hugs, not drugs, EVP.
No, it's all natural, baby. All natural. Like,
and coming
before we introduce him, Mr. Isaacs, it is a good thing that you split your Magic of Weekly show into 2 weeks, because you may need to change your last 5 after this pay-per-view tonight.
And coming in from the bullpen, number 9 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, it's showtime, Shane.
Hey.
Thanks
You
for putting me in, Coach.
You didn't get the eye thing.
I'm all ready to come from the bullpen tonight, Coach.
No Enter Sandman, no walk-up music? What's up?
Oh, you guys should at least hummed it out for me, your wild thing like Ricky Vaughn.
You make my heart sing.
Hey, I'm even wearing matching gear tonight, so
I have a question. Do you pitch like Ricky Vaughn?
you bet. Yeah, Ricky Vaughn before he got the glasses on, so all over the map.
Do you guys think that movie holds up?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. Yeah. I
Well,
mean, it's hard to find a lot of like 80s comedies that hold up today, but yeah, I still think that one's funny.
Do you think Weekend at Bernie's holds up?
No, but it's still hilarious.
No,
It's bad. It's funny.
Speaking of which, this is ridiculous. This is gonna be the most ridiculous story you guys ever hear. But my brother-in-law knew these guys in his local town in Ontario. Their uncle died. They literally tried to do the Weekend at Birdie's, tried to bring him into like the welfare office or something along that lines to try to get his social security, his check or whatever from the bank. And it was like, then they got arrested like the day later or later that day. It was like, yeah, they were dragging around a dead carcass.
Oh my goodness. Now, Jim Joe, does Tiffany get a strike for this?
Yeah, it's across all of AFW. And it's really funny. She's really teetering on that line for someone who just came back
So
from
she got 3 strikes.
Oh,
Did you give Caleb and his last strike? Did you see he said that?
Yeah, they're all up to like 4. Like it's like they don't respect my authority or anything like that.
They think it's a joke.
I got strikes for that word. Meanwhile, I'm the one that's been against that word from day one. So I've been mocking that word.
Well, but you've been mocking it as a mockery is not a good thing.
So I will not mention that word. But some of those strikes should kind of be null and void because I didn't realize said rule was in place. Well, but I will not
telling
use
you to
that.
stop, and you kept going.
No, I think Joe just hates. You just hate like the study of dinosaurs, right? You hate paleontology.
No.
You don't like the Mesozoic. You don't like the Paleolithic.
I hate that every day it's a new era of something in wrestling. It's annoying.
Wait, do you get a strike or you?
Yeah, that's a strike. That's a strike against him now.
I think
I'm the
I
one
think that's some
enforcing the
kind of
rule. I'll do what I
diplomatic immunity.
Well, it is his rule. He's allowed me
Yeah,
immunity.
fair
So
enough.
Diplomatic
I
immunity
can't say
as
shit.
per,
He's giving me immunity, so I'm not gonna.
as per the Geneva Convention. All right,
Yeah.
it's he
But
gets a
it's-
diplomatic immunity.
Geneva Convention that only the United States abides
But-
by.
Yes.
somebody has been mocking that word from day one should kind of get a pass too, a golden ticket from that.
Wait. You think that the USA and no other countries abide by this convention?
I was mainly talking about like the enemies of the United States that don't abide.
Oh, you're never like, wait, you're saying Canada doesn't? Great Britain doesn't?
Canada's never been
America!
used.
Fuck
They're never
yeah!
gonna look. The United States and Canada are probably never gonna fight in a war against each other ever again. So the
Well, hopefully not, because we
Yeah.
get our asses
Yeah.
kicked.
Yeah.
like Geneva Convention is for military foes, not for allies. So
But
Yeah.
man, I mean, maybe one day we might take over Alaska since it's kind of just like the tail end split off from,
Whoa, don't be starting wars here, Showtime.
Well, hey, Rich a few months ago started wars against Japan, so
Oh, geez.
Shane-
Oh, yeah, okay.
Shane
Just for
wants to get
fun.
closer to Russia. That's all that is.
Just for fun. Shane, who is your wrestler of the week?
Okay. You know what? My wrestler of the week actually is tonight. There's one Mr. Jack Perry. I don't want to give away what exactly happened in the match, which we're getting into later.
Okay, but you're
But-
giving him your wrestler of the week.
He's pretty much. Somebody was, when they say the wrestler of the week, they never said why. But all I can say is more and more, Jack Perry shows I don't give a F attitude. Bring it on. Oh, you're going to hurt me even more? Okay, please hurt me more. And he's got that attitude, and I've been loving it. So my wrestler of the week is one Mr. Jack Perry, the
I
TNT
like it.
title. Besides the fact he created his own TNT title belt, he actually forged it himself, like Forge of Fire, which was a show on Discovery Channel for a long time, or not Discovery, History Channel. And Christian Cage was on a similar show back in the day as a
But
host.
you feel like you've drank a few energy drinks here, Showtime.
Yes, and yeah.
Bud Light energy.
I like your pick. Your wrestler of the week. That's my guy.
Hey, at least he wrestled.
Yes. It was great. Like I said, we'll get into it later. That was great.
We'll get there, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the show since we're about 10 minutes in here and it's after midnight already. Match number 1 was Daniel Garcia versus MJF, with, of course, MJF winning and then getting the ever-loving shit beat out of him afterwards by Daniel Garcia. I absolutely love this match. It was brutal. Daniel Garcia showed me more in this match than I've ever seen from him in the previous 5 years he's been at AEW.
Yes, your guy.
This was awesome. I really like this a lot. And I mean, this is what a blood feud should be. Daniel Garcia attacked him with no entrance before the match even started. I mean, that's just a nice touch. Very brutal match, very brutal beatdown. Loved every bit of this. EVP, what'd you think of the opener?
Oh yeah, this is just great. Just freaking, even before the bell, just nonstop action. It was great. Like you said, Garcia looked like a star in this. Like MJF, as usual, delivers. Big shocker there. MJF, the number 1 guy in the company, delivers on pay-per-view. I mean, and you're right. This elevated Daniel Garcia, and hopefully he keeps going, because put him in the TNT title with Jack Perry. Those two will work well together.
Yeah.
Showtime. What'd you think of the opener, buddy?
You know what? Originally, I thought Garcia was going to win the match, but then deep down inside, with people in my ear, which you were right, yeah, MJF won it, but at the same time, it made himself look brilliant at the end. Like you were expecting some kind of payback. He didn't win that match. Well, the perfect payback happened right directly after, and I'm like, and I really hope there is one more match out of this, where Garcia, I know in storyline he pawned the ring. Apparently, it really is lost in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it was really
obviously
slow.
they could recommission another ring. I really hope if they either find the ring or recommission another ring, Garcia gets to use it and knock MJF out in a later feud down the match down the line. But no, this was a perfect ending despite him taking the loss.
Cat F and draw.
See, I would check underneath my bed if I was MJF.
No.
Isn't it sometimes just sleeping, you're just kind of fidgeting with your ring, right?
Yeah.
Or you maybe put it on the nightstand, and
I
those cats, they can be messing with anything on a nightstand and knock it over.
Like if it's a ring like this, I agree. But that big ass gaudy diamond ring, ain't no way he lost it on his nightstand.
The cat could have knocked it over.
You're right.
I'm sure.
Cats would definitely just start playing with it.
Yeah, for sure. At first, I thought you were saying that Daniel Garcia was going to be in his house in the middle of the night. Could you imagine a sleep paralysis demon of Daniel Garcia just doing that stupid dance over top of you?
Look, there
Sticking
was
his
enough.
torso in your face.
There was enough horror, like nightmare-inducing things on this show. We don't need to think about a Daniel Garcia. Under
There was
your
some
bed.
dark shit on the show, and I liked it.
Dude, from start to finish. Yeah, we'll get into more later, but
This
holy
whole
fuck.
week, AEW woke up and chose violence.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm digging it. But we'll get there.
But
we got-
seriously, leading up, no, but one thing though, leading up, literally AEW in the past pay-per-views are slowly choosing violence, and tonight was an explosion of that.
For sure.
Yeah, I think this Daniel Garcia on this show was highly elevated compared to the past, and the reference by the team to his Red Death character.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And he did the Randy Orton slither at the end. Did you guys notice that?
No, I actually missed that, but
yeah,
the Viper slither.
Yeah, I enjoy this match from top to finish.
Okay,
and
let me ask you guys a question real quick. So, rumor is MJF is going off to film a movie. Should he have lost?
No.
I'm going to say no because he's substantially bigger than Daniel Garcia.
Okay.
If he didn't just take a big L where he had a hype behind him, then I wouldn't I'd say it's not bad. The way Garcia finished it, even though he lost, I'd say kind of justified it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because on Facebook, everyone was like, "Oh, MJF should have lost if he's going away to film a movie." Just curious.
No, it's not the same as leaving the company.
Yeah, and honestly, like people said, he's never took back-to-back losses, like on a major paper. So that would have probably hurt him on his return back.
Sure.
He's too big.
He's one of your bigger stars.
Yeah, you don't job him out to Garcia here.
I wonder what movie he's going to film.
Hopefully he's in it longer than 15 seconds.
The Claw Part 2.
I heard that it might be Happy Gilmore too. Someone was speculating.
That would be interesting.
It's funny. The original Happy Gilmore is filmed in mine and Aaron's parts, and I just got a Happy Gilmore towel today for my golf tournament. Like that's Aaron and we were talking about that. Like,
they have Shooter McGavin.
Elvis is coming to talk shit with about you.
Hey, acknowledge this, Elvis.
Oh, gentlemen. Let's go on.
You know he's going to ask for it, so.
Match number 2 for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson versus the BCC, which Nigel said that Wheeler Yuta should leave the BBC. And I was sitting there thinking, guys, the Hurt Business isn't here, okay? Like this is the Blackpool Combat Club, all right? This, to me, I thought this was a damn good match. I thought both teams performed really well. I like the fact that the Bucks have kind of reined in their flippy dippy jump all over the place kind of deal. I mean, they're a lot more methodical and scientific in their wrestling now, and I like that. I appreciate that.
Mr. Isaacs.
Yeah.
Were you saying like BBC is in like the lower extremities of a black man?
No, clearly he meant the British Broadcasting Company.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that old Austin Power song, to the BBC. Yeah.
Look, I heard that MVP and Bobby Lashley are big Winston Churchill aficionados, and they like watching the documentaries. Okay.
I'm sure they do.
Jeez.
Dude,
Did you
Where's your
ever
mind
hear that Vincent of the NWO / $1 Million Man
Virgil,
Sidekick.
Vincent. Yeah.
Didn't he just pass?
R.I.P.
So-
Yes.
Yeah.
So the natural Dustin Rhodes said he was not a good wrestler, whatever. But this is prior to him dying. He said, but he's got an enormous penis. And he just walk around the locker just flopping it around and put some clothes on.
Somebody said that he could do himself with it. Yeah.
That's why, because it was so big, right?
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. The context.
I don't know how descriptive I should go into here, but someone said
You're good.
It's after dark.
You hit the boundary, okay?
It's along those lines as when too big is too big.
it was kind of the same deal as Lanny Poffo.
So in other words,
He
you
said the
don't
same
want to
thing.
tell him the GFY, okay?
So does Lanny Poffo have a big one, or he's just very
Lanny Poffo
ambidextrous?
could get his mouth to that area, and like he.
But is it
admitted this
because
in
it's
an
big,
interview.
or because he's just very good at bending?
I don't know. Probably just flexible, I would imagine, but I don't know.
I've just seen him do those small packages. Like,
Hey, small package. Gentlemen, what'd you think of the tag match? Showtime, I'll start with you this time. I know you're the Bucks guy here. What'd you think?
Despite getting distracted by the chat and their like AMW, like 3 chats going on, typical Bucks match. It was fun. Like honestly, it was fun to see Wheeler Yuta and Claudio mix it up with those two guys. The contrast of styles made it fun. Bucks did their moves. Those guys got their moves off. But then it was a lot of elements for surprise later on down the road for both sets of teams, which we'll get into. But yeah, you know what? That was actually a fun secondary tag match, or second opener match or whatever. Or was it the first? No, second. Yeah,
This is
It was the second match.
Yeah.
second. Yeah.
EVP,
I like
you're the
that.
other Bucks guy here. What'd you think?
I love this match. Like I had concerns following what we had just seen in the opener, but the crowd was hot all night long.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I was concerned about the Bucks having to follow someone. They never have an issue following anybody. They're so good, whether they're the face, the heel, whatever, they nail it. And it's
to add to that, like whatever spot you put them on the card, opener, curtain jerker, middle, main event, they do it too, right?
yeah. And I just I want to see this matchup again. I don't know what the plans are. Obviously, we'll get to that later.
Probably not
Like-
now.
yeah, we're not going to see that.
All right. Can't F and draw.
Yeah, this was a great tag team. Like EB Joe said, when you watch the Young Bucks, you're going to get a quality match regardless. I think Wheeler, Yuta, and Claudio was an odd choice to be the tag team. Just kind of throw together. Or maybe a little bit of foreshadowing of what's going on.
They're
later.
the trios champs, so don't forget though.
Yeah. So a little bit of foreshadowing to the later on. Like they say Wheeler Yuta needs to leave the BCC. So it kind of makes you think, like, do they need to drop these little hints?
I mean,
They
like I
to
said,
throw those
I
little
don't
hints in there.
That actually didn't feel like a hint to me though. Like that didn't feel like a hint at the time.
It's one of those hints where you go afterwards.
Yeah,
An
after,
Easter egg. That's an
I don't
Easter
think
egg.
it was really a hint because, like you said,
Well, I called it a hint in the chat. Look it up.
I mean, I know you did. We had this, but if it wasn't for the fact that Nigel's been saying this for months,
Yeah.
if he had just out of the blue said it, then yes, I would agree.
I don't recall him ever saying that.
Oh, he says it
No.
all the time.
Yeah, I've heard. Actually, he did say it. I remember the last time the Wheeler got pinned or something like that. He said it.
Now, Aaron, when you make a prediction and it comes true, do you prefer to be called Canadamus or Dryadamus?
I'll let Canadamus. Yeah.
Canadamus.
I don't want to be Drydamus. I don't like that.
What if Nigel ends up in the BCC as we're kind of just throwing that out there where he was putting those
I
hints out
think
there?
we
That
have
would
our
be
new BTC.
great.
Yeah, he might end up being the new leader, especially since
Like
he
like,
is
well, at
British.
least Blackpool would make sense for a guy that's him.
I think they established who the leader is, though. It's Mox.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
For
Which-
now,
We'll get into that later.
when we
It
get to
gets
that,
better.
I think there's
We got
someone
loads
else.
of time to talk about
Yeah,
that.
let's reserve any further comments about
Because
the
it's-
BCC win. We'll get there in a bit. The next match, speaking of the BCC, was Will Ospreay, bruv, against Pac for the AEW International Championship. I'll start with Can F and Dry this time. What do you think of the match?
This match was a classic. Like, these two gel so well together. Like, they've got to be. We need more Pac, and I think I'm glad EVP Joe said it. He said that with those two gone, what are the names? Lucha Brothers gone. Pac gets elevated, and that's the one good thing that's coming out of this, because Pac delivers time after time after time, and I think he's kind of an unsung hero in AEW.
Yeah,
but Will is Will, right?
Will is Will, my man. EVP.
Yeah. Oh my God, this match slapped. Good. Like, it's just. I mean, it's Will Ospreay and it's Pac, and it's just everything. Like those Frankensteiners that Pac was hitting.
The
just
reverse
snapping
one.
off. My God.
Yeah.
Like, and it will never amaze me how Ospreay can make that his elbow that he does. I'm drawing a blank to the move. How he just the assassin blade, the assassin, whatever it's called. How he makes
his
it
finisher,
sound
right?
so real without
The hidden blade.
The hidden blade. That's it.
The hidden blade without like legitimately knocking someone's head off. Like, and once again, like, this doesn't hurt Pac because the man, he looks like $1 million and he still got his trios title.
Wow.
Yeah, he's these two guys are both very, very fluid, and they just look like they never make a movement mistake. Like they're just so like effortless, and it's just amazing. It's like watching two characters in a video game because like they're just flawless like that.
And
very, very fun match.
And even when they do make a mistake, you don't notice it because they just keep going.
Yeah, they rebound so easily.
I love that part where Nigel talks about, did you see what he did there? And because he moved a little bit, he's like, he's playing possum. It was so smart of Nigel to sell it like that.
Nigel's great.
Yeah.
He's so awesome at calling these.
Like, it looked, he made something obvious, like a little bit of obvious botch by, not even a botch, just an obvious move to get ready for the move.
Can we bring up the snippetiness of Nigel in that tag team match when they kept saying that Wheeler's probably the greatest pure champion in ROH history?
He didn't like it.
There was I don't know if it was by design, but it seemed like there was a lot of tension.
You know what?
Tonight.
There might actually be even though Nigel, we were saying, oh, Nigel's going to return one day. He showed up for the All In for the Battle Royal thing or the Gauntlet. That might actually be like him doing those snippets. This might be leading to him having a like Daniel Bryan like finale return or Adam Copeland like return finale or whatever.
Taz and Tony Schiavone were bickering back and forth.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. Taz and Shivani sounded like they were like really getting into it. At one
Yeah.
point.
I don't know if it was just from
But I
a
wanna
long
say-
night or what.
I want to say those moves on the ring apron, the edge of that ring apron,
Oh,
they look phenomenal.
They need to
Yeah.
quit doing that.
I agree with that. You know what?
I don't
I
like
used to be
those.
critical of the flippy style, but the way Pac and then now Osprey being more of a heavyweight, I like it. Their styles currently remind me of the Omega when Omega was going more heavyweight in New Japan, and I honestly, this match was a perfect match of styles. As not too flippy as a junior heavyweight match, but then at the same time, there was some nice flips going on, or the reverse Frankenstein, like you lead to earlier, Joe. And I was like those are beautiful moves to watch, especially guys that are like paced at a more of a heavyweight style.
Look,
I gotta say,
he's
like-
a heavyweight. He is still he went back to his old nickname, the Aerial Assassin. He has to be doing those high and flat moves, or it makes no sense.
Yeah, his boots
Yeah.
look great with the
that's
wings
true
on it.
too. Yeah.
All right. Well, Joe went. Shane and Canada Dry were kind of chiming in there, but
No, we went.
Did
No,
you
yeah, I
guys
was
go?
last.
Yeah, you guys went, and I kind of chimed in at the end.
I went first, remember?
Oh, did you? Okay.
That's cool. All right, cool. But yeah, this was a fantastic match, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of it, especially with Ricochet in the mix, who's another guy who
They
can do
did
all
the
this
Ricochet appearing like Bret Hart.
stuff. Yeah,
Just
Dude,
watch
but
it.
Ricochet looked good in this suit. I'm gonna say,
yeah,
like,
he had the suit on, looked like a
Yeah.
he looked like a star, man. I like
Real-
that.
I don't want to say, like, even backstage when he was interacting with Will,
Yeah.
just the talking, he is a bigger star now with
He
one match
feels-
behind him than he was in WWE.
I'm not
Nope.
going to say that yet because he did.
I
have
am just
title
because he's
matches.
being presented that way in the way
He's being
If we're
presented
gonna
that
talk
way so
about
far,
this
but yeah.
WWE compared to his NXT was fucking presented brilliant for NXT.
He
But
had a couple of title matches in WWE. Let's not forget that.
that's the US title. Yeah, that's true. We kind of
But
forget
they
because he
weren't
gets
really-
buried with
he didn't
shitty
even get
shit.
chances to talk, though. He was just
No,
win the
because-
belt. And,
Have you ever heard him talk? He really
yeah, he
can.
sounded great in this.
He's not much of a promo guy. Hopefully, he's got
No.
somebody to kind of coach him in AEW that's going to help him a bit. But there's kind of a reason why Ricochet hasn't talked much. So I love Ricochet. He's a Kentucky guy, so I root for him. He's one of my guys. So
But there's also that thing where if you were once a bad mic guy, you get labeled that and you don't get your chance to even go on the mic.
Yeah, no recovering.
very
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's true. And he's going to fit in a lot better with the AEW crowd for sure. Like he's more that style of wrestler. So
2
I-
seconds.
Just like
before we
Will
move on to
Ospreay.
The next match. Can we talk
Mhm.
about on Collision last night how MXM was watching the TV?
uh,
They were facing the camera with showing their abs and looking back over the shoulder. of the TV.
They're trying to start a meme like Bret Hart.
those guys are great.
I
dig
love
those
MXM,
guys.
man. They're so fun.
They are. Next matchup, we got the Chicago Street Fight. Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander with Stokely Hathaway rocking the old school hip hop shirt for the movie Belly soundtrack with DMX and Jay-Z on it. That was kind of cool. And Nas. Man, this match was wild. This was brutal. I'm pretty sure Statlander got some thumbtacks in a place that a woman shouldn't get thumbtacks. And yeah,
I mean,
this was
No one should get thumbtacks there.
this was a really really fun match, bloody, violent, and finally, Chris Statlander gets a big victory. It's about damn time.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Joe, I'll start with you this time. What do you think of this match?
Who, me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. This was chaotic fun. I loved it. And like I said, I'm so glad Statlander got the win. Like, she was long overdue for a big win. Yeah, like that thumbtack spot was just looks painful. But what's even more painful is Stat sitting there wrapping a chain around Willow's neck and then in her mouth and just yoking back. Oh,
can you imagine if I got hung up on a molar or something?
Oh, look, there. Like I feel like everyone went before the show started. It's like, okay, we're gonna start the violence at about a 2, and every match we're gonna crank it up a notch or 2. Because like just throughout the night, just everything just felt more violent and more personal.
Yeah, that's so totally cool. Yeah, Shane, what'd you think, brother?
Okay, I'm gonna try to say this in the least perv way possible, but the one shot of Chris with the thumbtacks right under her butt cheek. Yeah, I won't get into it, but I was just like, "What? That was an amazing. That was an amazing shot." Seeing that and her continuing on, and I'm glad she
I bet
won.
you'd like to take her for sushi or something, right?
Yes, I would. I would like to take her for cucumber rolls because I don't really eat other sushi besides. Well, I mean, chicken teriyaki, beef teriyaki sushi rolls. I can take her for that.
Yeah, Japanese man, are you?
I think we got to call that picture tank tax.
Yes.
But but there was just that shot. She was like, when she had Willow up for the ones they're trying to like grapple, and I just saw sparkle of thumbtacks on her upper thigh. I was like, she gained it. Like, no, she wore it like a badge of honor instead of trying to pick them out or whatever during the match. Like, that wasn't I could see a fold spot being an uncomfortable spot when you're trying to move around too. And she finished like she did that for like a couple minutes, at least 2 or 3 minutes. It's all credit, and I'm happy. I'm happy she won. It was beautiful. It was a fun match. It was absolutely a fun match, like it was said earlier.
Can't F and draw.
Statlander, to me, she is the best women's wrestler in AEW. I think that she just presents herself like a star. She can wrestle smoothly. Yeah. She can do the power moves. Like she is the total package to me of what a woman's wrestler should be. And I think Willow is really good too. Like they were a beautiful dance partners in this. I don't know if you guys saw it when Willow threw Stat threw Willow off the stage, charged her. Willow said to Statlander, "I got you, baby girl."
Yeah.
Did you see that?
You know what? This is really the female version of Swerve versus Hangman. We'll get in that later, but this actually kind of reminds me of that like you just described there, like what was going on.
But not on nearly as violent of a level.
Is Willow going to burn down Stat's house?
But you know what? Actually, thing I forgot to mention though, that spot when we're talking about the pain, the fact that Willow had to if they're even fake plastic chains put in her mouth like that was, you can see it wrenching her cheek back. That's a pretty intense spot, and I give her all credit for allowing herself to take that spot. Because, yeah, you could literally just see that going like...
I'm going to say this. Statlander took Willow and made her a star.
Yes.
She took all those L's. She took all those L's.
Yeah.
And made an elevator into her level. So, like...
Yeah.
And that's not taking away from the work that Willow has put in.
No, definitely Willow is doing great. But I think like whenever someone is a higher star and they take all those L's for you, they deserve some credit.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, gentlemen, moving on. We have the AEW Continental Championship match. Kazuchika Okada versus a bunch of beaches. Okada versus Briscoe versus Orange Cassidy.
Bitch 1, bitch 2, bitch 3.
Bunch of bitches. I saw that he had posted that on social media. The graphic was modified to just say Okada, and then everybody else just had the word bitches under him.
Yep.
Yeah, this was a fun match. Very up tempo, lots going on. Everybody worked their ass off. I mean, Mark Briscoe looked amazing.
Yeah.
You know, Okada's fantastic. Takeshita, Orange Cassidy was amping it up. This was a very good match. It was real fun, real high octane, and of course, the right person won, Kazuchika Okada. And yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought this was pretty darn good. Can't F and dry. What do you think of this match?
I found it odd that the Continental title was being used in this way, because generally it's used to have these special classic matches with no interference, and it seems strange to be in a gimmicky sort of match like this.
It's kind of used as a pure kind of title, right?
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes you got to use what you have to get everyone on the card, I guess. But yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. Everyone kind of did their thing. Like Mark Briscoe looked great. Orange Cassidy looked great. And Takeshita looked great. Like everyone did their job. I can't think of anyone that didn't look good there.
Showtime.
You know what? It's just further, like, they kind of been, like, when we're talking about planting seeds and leading up, the Okada versus Takeshita, I think eventually is going to be a 1-on-1 mega match. Like, there's other things that happened in the past where it kind of looks like they're happening. Just like there's going to be eventually a Okada and Hangman match. Those seeds have been planted slowly, too. But I think a Takeshita Okada match is due for the future. And this four-way match was kind of perfectly slowly plant those seeds without you thinking until later on down the road or whatever. And yeah, the right man won. And the fact that like Okada was dropping those, like the Rainmaker, oh man, it just reminded me of the old days in New Japan. So
EVP
no, it was
Joe,
a great match. It was a great match, and everybody looked good. Everybody had their spots. So
EVP Joe, did you have a special thing that you wanted to do with our flower shop today?
Oh yeah, you want to? So for the flower shop, I'm gonna make y'all really think. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna think, but it's gonna be a little controversial. But for the flower shop, we are gonna pick one event in wrestling history that you want to delete that never happens.
Oh,
ooh, I might actually pick one I was actually at, like a WCW New Blood Rising.
All right. I already got one in mind. That's good. AVP, what do you think of this match?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed this match. Like I like the tease of Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe. That was fun. But what I had affirmed coming out of this is I want Takeshita versus Okada. And if I had it my way, it wouldn't happen until the finals of the C2 this year.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And you let Takeshita go over Okada, and you make Takeshita this massive fucking shooting, just shoot him right up, strap a rock to him.
it's kind of tough to do that right now with the gold on Blackpool Combat Club and
That's true too.
the Elite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually Okada has to lose the Continental title.
Yeah,
And
I agree with you. That's what you should do too.
Those trio titles might go for another tournament with we won't get now. We're going to shut up. We'll shut up right now. We'll talk about it later. Yeah.
All right. Next matchup, gentlemen, we got the TBS Championship match. Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida. And I have to say, I love the big sign right on the hard cam that said CE blows. That was a big
Do you guys like the gray lettering here? Do you guys like that or no?
It doesn't.
it looks good.
It doesn't matter to me. Honestly.
It goes on my shirt.
Yeah, I like it.
It's subtle. It's subtly perfect.
Yeah, I like it. I'll get my thoughts first. I thought this was a pretty good match, honestly. Like it probably was the weakest match on the card, but all things considered, this was a very strong card. But this was a good match, and it was pretty intense. Like, like they were laying in shots pretty stiff with each other, which was kind of interesting. I think this was a much better match than Monet had a couple weeks ago against Britt Baker, by far. But yeah, obviously Monet ended up coming out with the victory, and which I think everybody expected, but it was still a good showcase match for her. I liked it. Showtime, what'd you think of this match?
You know what? And I was literally in the chat. I could be one of Monet's biggest critics, and I have, and I will continue to be. But because she's knowing the sandbag, but at least with Sheeta, yeah, she put on a pretty hell of a show compared to what happened a few weeks ago with a well-known sandbagger, Britt Baker. And you know what? I actually like this match for Mercedes. Like, there was parts I did miss. I hate to see the piss break thing, but I really had to go at that time. But I missed a couple minutes. But when I came back, it was actually pretty solid match. And Sheeta, every time Sheeta goes, she goes, unless she gets a sandbagger like Britt Baker. So, but no, I really actually for what I say for Mercedes matches, this was pretty solid Mercedes match, and like I hope they actually get another chance down the line when she's not a TBS champion for those two to go again.
All right. EVP?
I don't know what to think of this match. I'm going to be honest. Like, y'all are saying it's great. I didn't think it was that great of a match. Like, it felt clunky.
Better than Brett.
It is better than Britt. But, like, towards the end of this match, like, it got really weird. Like, it's like it went from being a professional wrestling match to, like, something personal, and they didn't know how to go forward from there. It looked like with Sheeta screwing up, like, that dragon whip, and then messing up her katanas, like, it just, something felt off, like, the end of this match. And especially with the way Mercedes was celebrating, she wasn't her happy-lucky-go self. Like, she legitimately looked angry. So I don't know if we missed something or I missed something or if I'm reading too much into it.
All right.
That's a typical Mercedes match in WWE, though, if you want to go back in her history, though.
Well, I mean, to be fair, she was fucking jobbing to Charlotte every other day. I'd be angry, too.
Okay, that's fair.
Canada F and dry. What'd you think of the match?
Yeah, I think to me this match is proof that it was Britt Baker's fault at All In. But I don't think Britt Baker's a sandbagger per se.
Right.
I think she's just clunky, and I just don't think she's as good as. And I think that Tony needs to stop pushing this woman and get her back wrestling smoothly. I think that this was a good match. I don't think it was a great match, but but it was a good match. I don't think it deserves any unfair treatment. It was a good match.
It's not bad enough to affect the grade I'm going to give this show.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Like I was gonna say,
I still enjoyed the match.
Yeah, like when I say it was a great match, I don't actually mean like, oh, it's Woman of the Year match. I mean, for what Mercedes has done and Sheeta is pretty solid match. I don't mean like a great match. Oh, it's over the top. It's gonna be like 5 stars, right? But
all right. I got all three of you guys, right?
Yep.
Okay. Moving on. AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. Bryan Danielson versus the Scapegoat Jack Perry riding in on his short bus ever so proudly, which was an interesting visual. KNF and Jar, I'll start with you this time. What do you think of this match?
Which match is it?
Jack Perry and Bryan Danielson.
This was
main event.
This was a great match.
The sanctioned main event.
Yes. Yeah, I think that Jack Perry he did a great job. The way he sold those psycho knee kicks, unbelievable. He take lessons from Jack Perry. When you get hit with this, just make it seem like a car collision. Like
Yeah.
incredible.
That first one that he took, like
Yeah.
it went right up in the cheek. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was flying.
I think he ate it. Yeah.
But yeah, this was I think Jack Perry's greatest match in AEW.
Oh yeah.
Shocker.
He
His
showed
best match,
what he could.
Bryan Danielson.
Of course. I'll give my thoughts. He said it was a shocker because it's Danielson, but yeah, I'll give my thoughts, and I agree with that. I think this is the best Jack Perry match ever.
Yeah.
And
you know what? A few weeks ago, I know you don't like Jack Perry. I heard you just talk about it on your show a few weeks ago.
Like him.
Yeah, I know your opinion. I know. Literally,
As a wrestler or as a person?
I don't like him as a person. As a wrestler, I think he looks like a tough 7th grader. Like, I just don't buy him as a tough guy. But he messed up a lot of business in AEW, and I don't like him for it.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? That's fair.
The same reason you don't like Jack Perry is the same reason why I loathe CM Punk.
Oh, I know.
I think he fucked up more than anybody.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah.
I don't think Jack Perry deserved quite the hate that he's gotten from certain fans because like
he deserves some shit. But
no, you gotta have to stick up for yourself when you're doing something. Like, who the hell are you to say I can't?
Yeah, but the way he handled that was ridiculous.
Well, to be
and
fair,
they said that he was cussing out.
No, you know what?
Let's do this tangent real quick. The fact that CM Punk comes into AEW acting like he owns the company, sitting there having a new show for him, and saying, you can't be here and you can't be here, that's ridiculous. You're not awesome. Like, he was sitting there saying,
now, this is allegedly now. We don't have anybody on
the guy who's in charge of talent relations be on the show.
But the worst thing was guys would show up to the arena for Collision, like Adam Page or a few others, and like, no, you got to actually leave. So you traveled all the way there just to be sent home, and you couldn't even get through the doors. Like, that's ridiculous.
Okay, let's get back to All Out because
let's get back into this. This is a debate we could do a whole show on later, but
we should. Yeah, that would be a fun one.
But anyways, no, I don't like Jack Perry, but I do think this was a great match, and I do think it was.
CM Punk said he's a sweet kid.
All right,
and John Moxley.
You mean John Moxley said that?
No, CM Punk said it on that interview where he's scathing
That's right. No, that's right. Yeah, that's why I think John Moxley made the same comment. It was kind of a tongue-in-cheek comment.
Yeah, there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff going on about this issue.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I did think this was a fantastic match. Jack Perry did do an amazing job here, and I guess we could talk a little bit about the after events of BCC.
That's all I want to talk about. That's
it. Because the Bucks came out, tried to help Jack Perry win. Yuta and Claudio came out to make the save. Then Moxley came. As soon as Moxley showed up, I'm like, okay, he's turning heel and then he's attacking Danielson. I knew right away.
I put it in the chat. I said Mox is turning here.
I wasn't talking in chat because I was like, I don't want to miss anything.
This was fucking intense. Everything to it. Oh. Man.
So they beat down Danielson. They hold back Yuta, who's like crying, and for some reason they can't overpower Pac, who he's bigger than. And they put a plastic bag over Danielson's head, and Danielson sells so well, guys. Danielson sold suffocation.
Yeah. Which was the crowd's yelling, "This is murder!"
Yeah.
This was absolutely amazing. I love this. I love this segment. And Danielson could legitimately sell getting killed. He should be in like a horror movie or something.
Yeah.
Because he would sell like a stabbing from Michael Myers better than an actor could. Like, he's brilliant. I love this match, and I love this segment. I did.
So I like the moment when they're all holding hands, except Moxley doesn't grab a hand. I was like, oh, interesting. And then
what I liked is Moxley steps forward, Claudio does an uppercut, And he doesn't. He no sells it. He just sits there staring in disbelief.
Yeah.
I love that.
No, yeah.
It's like
It
he was
just
on
set up
such
to,
an
like, what the
adrenaline
hell's
dump.
going on?
Yeah.
Like,
This
and it made what made this so much worse. You see all of the BCC standing out there, Danielson in the ring with this big grin because he's like, Mox came to save me, and then he doesn't. I was like,
Yeah.
I thought that this whole drama of Christian and
oh yeah, we
Killcity
forgot about
showing up was perfect. Just like what a perfect way to present it.
I was so mad. I was like, please don't end it like this. I do not want Christian to be the one to retire Danielson.
Now, why wouldn't Christian come back after the suffocation for the pin?
See, here's my problem though. Like, you could see his eyes open and he's breathing because you see the bag going in and out. And then when he rips the bag is when he passes out. I'm like, come on. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Sure it does.
Oh, now fresh air. Now I'm going to pass out.
I've been itching to say a lot of things for this whole entire thing. The Jack Perry, this is one of my favorite Jack Perry matches.
Hey,
Just
Shane,
the fact,
back up a little, we can't see your face.
The top of your head vanished. Shane.
There we go.
just the fact, like Jack Perry's been leading up when he gets finished off in matches in the last while, including the Blood and Guts match, where it's like, bring it on, kill me. And he gets hit in the steel chair this time, looking at Brian, and he's like, come on, bring those knees. And he eats one, and the fact he goes down like this, like it was like the Crow movie or whatever, like he just drops like that. It was his character is getting more and more better, and this match right there showed it. Then we missed major parts. Yeah, Young Bucks came in. We kind of maybe expected that, and BCC at that time make the save. But the fact I had some sick feeling Christian might show up because he's got that new contract that happened at All In. Sure enough, that entrance music happens. Oh no, first Luchasaurus comes in, which this gives more craziness, which we missed. Luchasaurus comes in, hits Brian, looks at Jack Perry. There's that moment with Jack Perry and Lucha, and they just look at each other.
That was cool.
But that was awesome. That was enough. Seriously, this whole match with all that shit happened after was probably one of the best things that's happened in AEW history, because the failed cash-in happened, but it didn't exactly. There was also a past history told in that ring right there and then. Like, oh God! Like seriously,
we need to get hyperbaric needle for Shane because he needs to be calmed down.
I did no, dude. Seriously, this was like orgasm when all happened. I even said in the chat, I had a new Christian was coming up, like just all that whole, and then John Moxley putting the block. But there was even slight spoilers before it all happened. Notice Claudio was also wearing a white shirt, just like John Moxley was. So there was a tidbit spoiler before the actual beatdown happened too. So it was like it was literally a motion picture, like Romper Stompers. Like the rumor was Moxley was going to be a Clockwork Orange Romper Stompers character, and literally this whole setup in the past few weeks, and him showing those clothes, and then Claudio having a matching shirt. This was just one of my favorite things that happened in the AEW history in a long time. Or like it's just because it was a million things happen at once. It wasn't one particular thing. It was a motion picture in this match. Like,
so I just want to say, I really hope they don't like drop the trios titles. What I really want to see is over like the next couple weeks, like these videos of them just wearing down Yuta to where he finally sees the light and comes over to Moxley's side. I would love to see a heel Yuta because we haven't really seen that.
Or imagine if you get a face Yuta having to defend the tag team, the trios titles.
No, I don't want that. I don't.
When Yuta turned on the best friends, it was semi-heel at the time, though.
Yeah, but he
ECC's
joined
been
BC.
tweeners
Like
for
he
like
wasn't.
2
It
years.
wasn't anything close to what he could be if he joins this stable.
You know what? It kind of was like an NWO White versus Wolfpack, where it was just a stale. Like there wasn't even actually a feud or a fight from that really to be gone. Like when Yuta changed. So yeah, that's fair.
All right, guys. I'm about to fall asleep, so let's go ahead and get to the main event. We have
Luckily, that's all we
the
got left.
lights out steel cage match. Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana versus Hangman Adam Page. My God, what a brutal match! They tried to stab each other. They hit each other with all kinds of weapons. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. My attention span was kind of shot by this point, but it was a very violent match, and I did enjoy that. I was not expecting Hangman to get the victory. It's the only match I predicted wrong tonight.
Same. It's the only thing I
Yeah.
got wrong tonight.
But
And it cost me because when my opponent went perfect.
oh man, yeah, that's not good. Canada
Well,
F and
one
Dry,
of
what do
my
you
two
think?
opponents went perfect.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought the spectacular violence. There was a couple really good spots where the chair was set up in the corner, and he just rolling violently into that looked so good.
Yeah,
There's also a spot where the ref is standing on the chair and Swerve gets a house call out of it. But the referee should have grabbed the chair away from Swerve at one point too, to kind of make it even. I was disappointed in this ending. I think Swerve should have won, or if he was going to lose, this match should have been at a later time.
yeah.
To get Swerve another win after losing the title. I think it hurts Swerve a little bit to lose this match after losing the world title. And I didn't like that hyperbaric needle at all.
Oh God, that was I don't like
That was
spots.
that's beyond ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
I didn't
like
like it.
the needle. I didn't like the unprotected chair shot. That shit needs to leave wrestling. It has no place in 2024. Whether it's a gimmicked chair or not, I don't care.
I don't like
This is
it.
not TCW. It's like yeah.
I don't even give a ECW, CCW, anything. There's no place for that in 2020.
Yeah, you don't need it in
exactly.
any organization.
This is
Yeah,
a post CTE
exactly.
reality, so we got to be a little more cognizant of stuff like this.
Yeah.
EVP,
But
what
the needle to me was more offensive because the time of drugs
disgusting.
and all that shit.
Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, I don't
I
like
mean,
it.
So was there something in there and it put Swerve to sleep? Is that what the deal was?
I don't know if I'm not sure what it was, honestly. I don't know.
Or was he just stabbing him with it? Or
I don't remember. Yeah.
because it almost seemed
I
like
don't
that's what put him to sleep is the needle.
Could have been. We'll have to see what they say on Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah, but I think he hit him with a chair shot after he got stunned with the needle, then got hit with a chair shot or something along the lines or clothesline or
God.
It left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. EVP, what'd you think?
I mean, this was a gloriously violent match. The wrong guy won. You can't convince me that Hangman Page should have won this match. He is the outright heel in this. He burnt down a fucking house. Like, you can't convince. Like I said, you talked about emotions in wrestling. This shit had me feeling some emotions, and most of it is anger that Page won.
I just want to give a shout out here to Logan James. Thank you for tuning in to our show. The first time we've seen you. Yes, Hangman Swerve and Hangman and Swerve were the best steel cage match in a long time.
Yeah.
But my thing is now that Page has won, where does he go? There is no clear plan for Page
Both
going
of them, no. They're literally for both of them, actually, though.
This feud will probably continue, I would imagine.
Maybe.
And I think
I almost think
if
it should be over.
Continue, then Swerve should have won because I am way more interested in Hangman Page going batshit crazy, circling the drain because he can't he's not getting the title and he's not getting the swerve.
Unless says it's gonna be a future double heel face turn.
You can't do a double turn with Swerve. The people love him too much right now.
This
No, but
is
later.
this is Swerve's paying back Hangman
Yeah, and
Yeah.
vice
for
versa.
helping him along the way.
Shane, go ahead with your thoughts.
You know what? This was one of the funnest cage matches I saw in a long time. Until the fought, I was starting to cringe when I saw that syringe. I'm like, no, it really started reminding me when I made the GCW comment. Yeah, I forgot about that with the Stratton Lilith. They used the light tube thing early, and I don't like those type spots. Yeah, maybe once in a blue moon, but I don't like syringes. I don't like pizza cutter spots. I don't like self-harm type spots. And that's what the syringe spot going through was like a self-harm type freaking spot.
I'm not going to lie. I thought at first he was going to jab that in his neck, and I was like, please don't, because you could really fuck some shit up.
Yeah. But even just going through the cheek though, man, and stuff like the staple gun. Yeah, I cringe at the staple gun. That's still nowhere isn't it bad as this particular spot. But at the same time, you know what? I love the fit. I love it. I didn't think Hangman was going to win. I thought if there's any chance where Hangman would walk off with a sort of victory where it was going to be a double knockout. But yeah, I did not actually expect Hangman to walk out with the victory tonight.
I also think it's stupid that he won by knockout.
You know what? This gotta say Swerve. If you're gonna say Swerve, if he would have pinned or submitted Swerve, that would have made Swerve look horrible.
Yeah, it looks a little better for Swerve that it's a knockout.
Knockout. But hey, there's one thing. Aaron told me before I'm not allowed to ever show my balls on air. But here we go.
They're very orange. They're very Trumpy.
They are. That's a bad bit. That's a bad bit that went wrong tonight.
Different Cheetos?
All right, gentlemen. I guess we could proceed on to the flower shop at this point, right?
Yep.
Match of the night and the other thing is
the brought to you by adorable Adrian Adonis and the Pro Wrestling Tees store associated with them, Pro Wrestling Tees / Adrian Adonis. Get your adorable Adrian Adonis gear today.
All right. Match of the night, bell rating, and event you would erase from history.
So when you say event, you mean a match or a whole show?
Whatever you want. You could say, I want the invasion to go away. You could say, I want WWE buying WCW to go away. It's whatever you want, something that you want to erase from history.
All right, fair enough. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead, EVP.
So what are we doing again? Match of the night?
Match of the night.
And then...
Match of the match of the night and the second match of the night, because there's not really any...
Okay, so...
We can do that.
My number one match of the night, I'm giving it to Will and Pac, because good Lord, that was ridiculous. And then my second match, I think just for the angle that follows, I'm giving it to the World Heavyweight title match, because that includes the shock turn afterwards. I'm giving this 5 stars. Like I said, the stuff that I'm complaining about isn't so egregious that that has hampered my enjoyment of this show at all. And then my one thing to erase from wrestling history is the goddamn Montreal Screwjob. I'm so tired of hearing about it. I'm so tired of WWE recreating it.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Be gone. It's so bad that TNA even redid it. Get rid of the Montreal Screwjob from history.
WWE did it a second time with Chris Benoit versus Stone Cold Steve
They've done
Austin
it.
in front of Bret
And they
Hart's
did it with
family
that
in
guy and The
Calgary.
Rock. They did
They've
it.
done it so many times.
WCW did it with Bret Hart and
No,
who
they
else?
even did it in the Roddy Piper, the Jesse Ventura movie. They did it on the Jesse Ventura TV movie. They did the Montreal Screwjob with WCW logos. It was like, how did that make sense? They had nothing to do with it. Like, you guys
I'll
probably
go
didn't
ahead,
even see.
I guess I'll go ahead and go next.
Yeah.
My match of the night was Danielson and Perry. My match number 2 was MJF Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
I love both of those matches. My rating, I'm gonna give this a 4.75. Which I think is the highest rating I've given a pay-per-view. There might be one other I matched with that. I don't know, but I love this event. I thought it was great. The event that I was going to remove from history was Over the Edge with Owen Hart's death. I was going to remove that one.
We got 2 hard things. Holy shit. So Owen doesn't die on Over the Edge. I love it.
Showtime Shane, did you give yours? I think we just got Joe and mine, right?
You know,
I honestly, I have to give it a perfect 5 stars. I'm my first ever AEW pay-per-view where I'm like, everything felt perfect. Even the Mercedes match wasn't the greatest, but it was perfect for the pay-per-view. It was a lot better than a few weeks ago. Not shitting it all in, but this was like, and even though like Joe said earlier, some of those violent spots, it was, as much as they sicken me, and also at the same time, it's like, oh, AEW is willing to push this envelope that it's been told that WWE should do the moment they go into Netflix. So it almost feels like that AEW is already pre-pushing the lines before that merger even happens or whatever, and before the Warner Brothers deal, which I think that's actually some of the stuff that might help with the Warner Brothers deal, because they're in the movie industry with type of shit like that, with horror movies and all that. So yeah, perfect 5-star match. I was gonna erase one thing from history. Anything Vince McMahon did extracurricular. There's a lot of people in the long lines. And actually, even also what he did to Bret Hart too, at the same, Bret and Owen, but at the same, anything like Vince did that was evil, extracurricular, sexually.
So you're turning Vince into a saint. I love it.
Shit! Oh no! I didn't mean it. No.
You ain't no take backs.
Can't F and dry. You're up.
All right. My match of the night is Danielson and Jack Perry. That's my guy, Jack Perry. My second match tonight is not Swerve, because I didn't like that ending.
I didn't either.
So I can't put it in there. I didn't like the needle. I didn't like the ending. So my second match tonight goes to Statlander and Willow. I thought those two deserve a mention, and they tore the house down. Good on you, girls. Like, this has been that was the best women's match in a while.
Oh hell yeah! Especially straight fight, hardcore. Yeah,
they delivered. And what I'm deleting from history is Brett's match with Goldberg, and he doesn't get knocked silly, and he goes on to return and wrestle another 10 years in WWE.
Yes. Hard, ruthless aggression. We should have had that.
That NWO Silver finish, like that whole NWO Silver was a perfect pairing. Jeff Jarrett and Bret Hart connection because of Owen Hart being close to Jeff.
No, NWO was played out by then. I'm so glad. Like,
they had a chance to make it special again.
No, seriously, this was going to be the version that seemed like that was going to be the make special again. This is going to be better than Wolf.
A lot of faith in WCW at that time, gentlemen. I'm just going to say
that would have been that. What was WCW offering at the time, though? Yeah. So let's not forget.
But everyone just started getting hurt right away, and then it was just Jared and his cronies.
What was your bell rating, Canada Dry?
I didn't give one. I give it 4.76, just the Bob Barker.
So what does that make our Average.
Hold on.
Remember we had a show without Joe and without like any other. We're like, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't want to do this shit.
4.8775.
Okay.
I
Damn right.
love tonight. This was one of my favorite AEW nights.
It was me too. This is one of my favorites that I've ever
It was
watched.
nice.
Yeah.
Can't have and
Yeah,
drive.
the reason I didn't give it a really high rating was because of the swerve ending.
I did not like the
That's
swerve.
fast.
I didn't like
That
it.
that took off the marks for me.
But like
I
I
might
said,
have given it a 5 if that had ended better.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
like for having a pay-per-view 2 weeks ago, that was phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
to me, this pay-per-view exceeded all expectations.
Yes.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
No,
For
literally.
sure.
They literally flip flopped what happened a few. It made last week look like PG or Disney World compared to what happened tonight. Every match
Slow
almost.
walk to grandma's house.
And now in 2.5 weeks, we have the Arthur Ashe show.
At least that's not a pay per view.
Yeah, it's Wednesday night. I'm just saying they have another big show coming up.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, Canada, close us out of here. So I can
Oh,
go
wait,
to bed.
you want to get to bed, don't you? Sir?
Yeah, I'm ready to end this.
All right. On behalf of the effing expert, actually, just really quickly, visit Pro Wrestling Tees /effing wrestling. Get yourself some t-shirts. They've got a few coming. And then we got a new show coming. The Evan Comic Store with Rich Southwood and myself. We're going to do we're returning a show back to Friday nights where Rich and I will talk about superheroes, pop culture, anything that's kind of dorky.
Except wrestling, because we got that covered in
Yeah,
series.
yeah. So this is just a fun show to do about superheroes and movies and all sorts of stuff like that.
The new network.
Yes, right here on the AFW network.
Yes.
So check out all the links below. Hit those links. Hit our sponsors. And without further ado, on behalf of Effin' Expert, on behalf of EVB Joe, on behalf of Showtime Shane, I'm Canada Dry, and I'm just going to keep it simple. Just keep fighting. And now I'm going to look for the outro.
This has been an effing worldwide media production.
Hey, Shane, what'd you think of the show?
It was that.
You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effin' wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effin' wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effinwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.
Thanks for watching.